Hare Krishna. Welcome to my YouTube channel Everyday with Bhagavad Gita. I am Madhuri. Wishing you all a very happy Krishna Janmashtami. Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared on this day. So let us know the reason behind the appearance of Lord Krishna. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, once when Mother Earth was overburdened by hundreds of thousands of military fanatics of various conceited demons dressed like kings, Mother Earth assumed the form of a cow, very much distressed, with tears in her eyes, appeared before Lord Brahma for relief and told him about her misfortune. Thereafter, having heard the distress of Mother Earth, Lord Brahma with Mother Earth, Lord Shiva and all other demigods approached the ocean of milk. After reaching the shore of ocean of milk, all worshipped Supreme Personality of Godhead Lord Vishnu. While in trance, Lord Brahma heard the words of Lord Vishnu, and thus he told all the demigods that Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna will soon appear as a son of Vasudeva to diminish the burden on earth by annihilating the miscreants. Some time ago, Vasudeva, who is the son of King Surasena, married Devaki. After the marriage, he mounted his chariot to return home with his newly married wife. Kamsa, the son of King Ugrasena, in order to please his sister Devaki, he became the chariot driver. Along the way, an embodied voice addressed him and passed a message that Devaki's eighth son will kill Kamsa. Kamsa was a condemned personality in Bhoja dynasty because he was envious and sinful. Therefore, after hearing the omen from the sky, he caught hold of her sister's hair and took up a sword to sever her head. Vasudeva thought, because this has been predicted, and perhaps one of my sons will be able to kill Kamsa. After all, destiny is very strong and acts in his own way. Vasudeva was in great anxiety and spoke to Kamsa that you have nothing to fear from Devaki. According to what the omen from the sky had proclaimed, the threat is from her future sons. Therefore, I promise you that as soon as she gives birth to a child, I will place the child in your hand. Kamsa agreed to the logical argument of Vasudeva, and having full faith in his words, he refrained from killing his sister Devaki. Kamsa imprisoned Vasudeva and Devaki and killed their 6 children after their birth. And then Lord Ananta, who is the plenary portion of Lord Krishna, entered Devaki's womb as her 7th child. Supreme Lord ordered Yogamaya to please transfer Lord Ananta or Lord Balarama from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb, who is another wife of Vasudeva. When this happened, all the palace residents lamented, thinking that Devaki lost her child. Now it was the time for Supreme Personality of Godhead Lord Krishna's appearance. An atmosphere of peace, beauty and goodness prevailed in entire universe. The sounds of drums could be heard throughout the sky. The demigods and celestial sages showered flowers in a joyful mood. In this setting, Lord Krishna appeared from Devaki's heart on Krishna Paksh around 5000 years ago in the dense darkness of the night, like a full moon rising in the eastern horizon. Even though it was the 8th day of waning moon became full to welcome the Lord. According to Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, Krishna said to Arjuna, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham, which means whenever and wherever there is decline of religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant race of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samstapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Which means, to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium.
Jai Jai Nanda Yashoda Dula Girivardhari Gopal. Gopal, 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 Gopal.
Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyata Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada. In our previous video, we discussed that Bhagavad Gita's chapter 1, 19th and 20th text, that when Pandava's party blew their counsels, Kaurava's hearts shattered, and Arjuna, seated in a chariot, bearing a flag marked with Hanuman, and then he spoke to Lord Krishna. Let us know in the next verse what he spoke with Lord Krishna. Arjuna uvacha senayor madhye ratham sthapaya me achyuta yavadeta niriksheham yodhukaman avastitan kairmaya saha yodhavyam asmin ranasamudhyame. Translation: Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Purport: although Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. He never fails in his affection for his devotees, and thus he is addressed herein as infallible. As a charioteer, he had to carry out the orders of Arjuna, and since he did not hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible. Although he had accepted the position of a charioteer for his devotee, his supreme position was not challenged. In all circumstances, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishikesha, the Lord of total senses. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render the service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee. He takes greater pleasure in his pure devotees assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being the giver of orders. Since he is master, everyone is under his orders, and no one is above him to order him. But when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure, although he is infallible master in all circumstances. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Arjuna had no desire to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come onto the battlefield by the obstinacy of Duryodhana, who was never agreeable to any peaceful negotiation. Therefore, he was very anxious to see who the leading persons present on the battlefield were, although there was no question of peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield. He wanted to see them again and to see how much they are bent upon demanding an unwanted war. In this verse, Arjuna addresses Lord Krishna as Achyuta. Literally speaking, Chuta means fall. Achyuta means one who never fails to keep his promise. Now in the battlefield, Arjuna requests Lord Krishna to draw his chariot between the two armies. Even though in all circumstances Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishikesha, the Lord of total senses. Out of causeless mercy, as a charioteer, he had to carry out the orders of Arjuna. And since he did not hesitate to do so, thus he is addressed as Achyuta. Here a question arises. Arjuna knew very well who all the kings have joined Kauravas. Before the war, alliances were made, and Arjuna knew very well who all the kings joined the alliance with Kauravas. Then, what is that he wanted to see? Pandavas never desired a war against Kauravas. And so, Lord Krishna visited Hastinapura for a peaceful negotiation and asked at least 5 villages for Pandavas. But Duryodhana refused to give even a needle point of territory to Pandavas, and so war became inevitable. Now, Arjuna wanted to see the opposite side again, how much they are bent for demanding an unwanted war. Yotsyamanān aveksheham yayetetra samagataha dhartarashtrasya durbuddehe yuddhe priyachikirshavaha. Translation: Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. Purport: It was an open secret that Duryodhana wanted to usurp the kingdom of the Pandavas by evil plans in collaboration with his father Dhritarashtra. Therefore, all persons who had joined the side of Duryodhana must have been birds of the same feather. Arjuna wanted to see them on the battlefield before the fight was begun, just to learn who they were. But he had no intention of proposing peace negotiations with them. It was also a fact that he wanted to see them to make an estimate of the strength which he had to face, although he was quite confident of victory because Krishna was sitting by his side. Here we discussed text 21, 22 and 23 of Bhagavad Gita chapter 1. To read Bhagavad Gita along with me, please subscribe to my channel, click on the bell icon to get notifications, and also like and share my videos. We shall meet in our next video with next text of chapter 1. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.